I'm Kevin with Springfield Leather. I have had so many people ask how to play one of these happy little Native American flutes that it's not funny. Everybody seems to think that you've got to be a musical genius or some kind of creative person to play a flute. Well, you don't. And that's happy, because a lot of us aren't. Playing one of these Native American flutes is a lot of fun. Now, one thing about them, you never buy a Native American flute so that you can go home and play songs. It doesn't work like that. The reason you buy a Native American flute is to make yourself happy with the noise that you make. And when you first pick it up, you're not going to be very happy. But there's a way to learn that's really, really easy. Almost everybody just loves the sound of these things, and you can't blame them. I mean, listen. This is a flute made by the man that makes our flutes for us. His name is Jerry Fretwell. Listen. Isn't that pretty? Okay, here's the whole trick. Now, if you're right-handed, the first thing you need to do is take your flute with your left hand and you put your third finger on the third hole down, and you never move it ever. Not ever. Unless you want to eat or do something of physical necessity, but you never move that finger. Now, from that point on, you can play up and down as long as you cover the holes with your fingers, like this. That's easy. Most people can do that right off the bat. The trick is learning to cover the holes well, and that takes a couple of days. Simple. Then you add the other hand. 1, 2, 3. You never move that finger, ever. You can play up and down, and you can tell when you do something wrong. I'll show you. Hear that? That was wrong. You can tell. Simple. About the only other thing you have to know, about a Native American flute is that there's a reason for this little wooden block to be separate from the rest of the flute. There's an air chamber in there, and there's a teeny tiny little space between this block and the rest of the flute. There's also a hole. Now, this little block has to be in the right spot. If it gets out of the right spot, like this, well, let's see how it works. Wow, this is a good flute. It works. But it doesn't work as well as it did before. Listen again. Now listen to this. Well, that's kind of hard to hear, isn't it? Nothing. That's because it's moved too far forward. I'll move it back just a little. You can hear it, but it's still not as good as what this is going to be. This right here is the spot where it needs to be. When you have that in the right spot, and you learn to move your fingers and cover those holes, it takes a couple days, you can really have a lot of fun. happy fluting.